Hey there, this is a 2007 GMC Yukon Denali with the 6.2 liter in it. Keep getting that error code that the throttle position sensor is out of whack or whatever, so I just decided to replace it, and you can see it's tucked in underneath here. But I figured since I was going to replace the throttle position sensor, let's try one of these throttle body spacers. Personally, I don't really see what it's going to do because it's fuel injected, but it wasn't that expensive, so give it a go. Since I'm taking it off, it's a lot easier to get at the throttle position sensor. All you really have to do is take off the intake here, and then we can get a good look at everything right there and pop off the throttle body, throw in the spacer, and throw in the new sensor. Yeah, and as you can see, there's a lot of squirrel treats down there, so I'll give it a clean too. Let's start taking it apart. I already had the top cover off. It's usually covered up here with that, keeps everything all hidden, so we'll take that off. That's already off, and I'll take this tubing off and we'll get another look at it. Okay, got all that intake tubes out of the way. There's a good look at your sensor, the throttle position sensor. So then you just gotta take off this throttle body with the 4 bolts there, and then when that's off, I can get at those nuts and vacuum that out, and we'll take that off, and then the throttle body spacer just goes in between on the back side there, and put it all back together. I figured it'd be a lot easier to change this because there's some clips I couldn't really get at when I was sitting on the engine, so to replace that I just figured throwing in. I'm not sure. You look at the box of this throttle body spacer, it says improve low end torque, fuel efficiency, and throttle response. But I know on a dirt bike it makes a difference. But I don't know. I've read mixed reviews about these. Save your money, don't bother. It's fuel injected, so whatever. $100, not even. We'll see what it does. I didn't get the most expensive one, so we'll give it a go, and let's take that throttle body off and go from there. Okay, now I just got to disconnect this electrical. All you do is push that little gray tab in, pull it out, and then in the middle there, there's a bit of a release. And it releases that little pin there, and you got it disconnected. So now I'll my throttle body off, and there's the 4 clips that come with the new, or no, 6, isn't it, with the new sensor. And I was going to clean that up a little bit, and then we'll put it all back together and clean that out, get all that dust and dirt out of there, and then bye-bye to the nuts, and we'll put her back together, and I guess we'll drive her around for a week or so and see if it does give you better mileage, or hopefully you can notice a little bit of the response, but we'll see. Okay, so cleaned it all out. It's a lot cleaner now, got rid of all that residue and gunk, but the main point was I had to replace the sensor. So we're going to pop these clips off, throw the new sensor on, throw the throttle body spacer in, and back together. So let's just pop off simply a little clip. It was a lot easier to take this right off, to pop these back ones off, so I figured, hey, why not try this throttle body spacer, see if it actually does do anything. But from what I've read, it doesn't seem like it will. I don't know, mixed reviews on it, so no other way to try but put one on. the old one. Let's go with the new one. Yeah, it has a gasket. The gasket's there, so pretty simple. Not much to these. Came with new clips, so make sure you use new clips. It's tough to get that on properly. Open the flap up, and then your pin will line up. You'll see it's this pin that goes into there. It's spring loaded, so you have to put it in with opening the flap. There you go. Gets it all seated. Now we'll just put on the new clips. That didn't work. Once you get the first ones in, it gets a little easier. Perfect. Okay, just make sure they're all nicely seated right at the edge. There we have it. New one on. Now we'll just clean up the block there, get rid of those squirrel nuts, and put it all back together. All right. Here's the throttle body spacer. Not much to it. Gasket and a couple bolts. It does have a direction, throttle body side. That's the engine. There we go. It's supposed to mix the air up, which I don't think is going to make much of a difference. But see how it goes. One thing you'll have to do is remove these studs here. They're just normal thread, so if you have the actual Torx bit, perfect, but I'm just going to use a pair of pliers. Pull them out because you'll need the longer bolts that come in the package because of the spacer. And then that plastic piece repositions where that intake piece sits, so because you've bumped everything out a little. So I'm just going to remove those studs and then we're good to put it back together. we have it. Throttle spacers all in. Just put in that electrical here. For the whole reason we were actually changing this was just for the new throttle position sensor. Kept getting that code, so might as well switch it. Now I'll just throw all back on, all the tubing back in, and we'll see how she goes. See if it makes a difference or it doesn't. Thanks for watching. It was a pretty simple little addition, but yeah, it's all if it works or makes a difference. Have a good one. Forgot one last thing. You also get this little plastic piece, which you'll end up putting on here, and it jumps your, usually you clip in there, but now you've bumped your throttle body spacer out and your tubes won't fit properly. So it ends up going into this tube right there, and you'll just screw it in. There's a screw that comes with it instead of bolting it in, or just snapping it in. So you snap that on place, snap that into place there, and then throw all your tubing back together, and we'll show you what it looks like all back together. Alright, there you have it, all back together. Hoses, clamps, top cover. You can barely even see that spacer's in there. You see a little blue thing back there, that's it. Next thing to do on this is the oil pressure sensor, which is going to be a nasty one. It's in that way back corner back there. You gotta take the fuel line off and a couple other lines, but you should be able to get it. But we'll fire it up, make sure everything's all good.